Hey everyone, this is OneSpit and welcome to another Warhammer Fantasy Battle Report. So this is the first time I've played the meeting engagement scenario, and when we rolled off, I had to deploy first. And although I really like this scenario for a mostly knight army like I have, because it allows me to get into combat quickly, it was pretty brutal to have to set up all your troops first and allow him to completely react to you. On the plus side, though, it's one of the few times I actually know I'm probably gonna get to go first. So when I rolled for it, I had my Battle Standard Bearer, a level 2 mage, my Knight of the Realm unit, and my Archer unit. All were unable to be deployed but could move on first turn. And so what I thought I would do, since when you come in late, you always have to come in from your long table edge. I thought my knights could catch up quickly enough, so I went ahead and spread my units out a little bit so that it would maybe prompt him to spread out, and then I was going to hope to use my greater mobility to pick the fights that I wanted. So anyway, this is what he's got. He's got a level 2 caster with his crossbows. He's got a couple big blocks of spear elves, or I guess warriors in this case. Cauldron of Blood. Here on my far right, he's got his Hydra, Dark Riders, and a unit of Shades. And let's see, you can see how I deployed first. Men-at-Arms at the bottom. Now normally I have the level 2 with them, and she has the prayer icon of Quinellus to get them a ward save. But she wasn't able to come on. So anyway, they're there. I've got my monster killing general, questing knights, knights errant, and with the questing knights, I have a level 4 prophetess. Anyway, I've got Pegasus Knights up top. I have another unit of Pegasus Knights. They also, no, they're on the very left side of this. They're on the board. And I've got one Trebuchet on the board and one Trebuchet that didn't make it, that he has to come on first turn. So like I said, one of the few times I could go first. At the very bottom, you see the Trebuchet moved on the board. The Damsel did. She's going to try to catch up to the Men-at-Arms, but they didn't wait up for her because the general wasn't really thinking. Knights of the Realm came on. You can see how they caught up to the other knights quickly enough because the other knights are not rushing forward because I didn't want to get charged by the Hydra. But I've set it up that if he doesn't move, I'm likely going to get a charge off with one of those 3 units there. So these Pegasus Knights over here, I really just come around his flank. Not sure what I want to do with him yet, but he's just going to stay back with all this stuff. What I really want to do is use my knights to take care of everything on my right, and the only thing I have to worry about here are his spellcasters. So here's where I set up my archers so that if he brings his Shades down the line, I can shoot at them. The Shades are brutal, but they're pretty fragile. And because I didn't use my Vanguard movement, and he didn't use his, I was able to get a charge of my Pegasus Knights into those Dark Riders, which was really nice. You just get I'm pretty sure I'm going to win that, just get them off the table in a hurry. Yeah, so I beat them, and now I turn my back to the Hydra. I don't care. I don't want to take on the Hydra with those guys, so I just do a reform and face the Shades. And I like the idea, if he doesn't beat me up too much in his shooting round, I like the idea of charging the Shades with my Pegasus Knights. I think I have a pretty good chance of beating them. So Dark Elf turn 1. And so as Hydra moves up, I don't know if that was a failed charge or if he decided not to charge, but I'm pretty sure he just moved up, basically saying, you know what, you're going to charge me anyway, so charge me and let's get it over with. And he's got some Blackguard that came on his first turn at the top left of this picture, and so I think what he's doing, he's looking to countercharge me there. So over here, he doesn't advance his Shades, he just moves towards my Pegasus Knights so we can shoot at him. You can see he has, let's see, looks like he has more Dark Riders and Coldwood Knights that came on the board, as well as his Black Knights. And then over here, he just moves this warrior unit up a little bit. So during shooting, he gets 2 wounds on my general, which is making me nervous. The one good thing I have is during my magic phase, my level 4 caster there on the left has Lore of Life. So all she needs to do is get some spells off, and it'll heal him, and I should be okay. Here, and actually, I think those 2 wounds by general, yeah, those were from magic. Actually, I think he had a spell that sent like a line right through all my guys and just killed a bunch of stuff. So after shooting here, he did 3 wounds on my Pegasus Knights, but I failed my panic test. But now I'm a little bit nervous about charging into him. So he really stopped me from doing what I wanted to do with the shooting right there. And we moved to turn 2. Now this is where I just made a couple, well, just some funny things. If we start on the left, I charged my men-at-arms into his warrior unit, and I really don't know why I did. There was nobody there to support him, and there's really no reason to think that a bunch of peasants are going to beat a group of Dark Elf warriors. One of the reasons I did it, though, and I was hoping, it was a long charge, and I was really hoping I'd make it, is if my Pegasus Knights don't beat the Cauldron of Blood this round, don't kill it, I didn't want those warriors to be able to countercharge into the rear of my Pegasus Knights. And I thought that my men-at-arms would be able to hold up for a turn or so. One thing I forgot, though, is that they didn't have the ward save like they normally would have because the damsel wasn't with them. Anyway, if you, I took my Pegasus Knights into the Cauldron of Blood, hoping I'd get lucky. Only 2 of them can fight in that combat, but still, there's a chance. And over here, I just really went all out on that Hydra. Just took everything close by that could get to it, into it. The Pegasus Knights, I flew up near my damsel so that when she's casting spells, she might be able to regrow them. She might use her, you know, the extra benefit from that lore to heal a wound on them. We'll see. So at the end of combat, the men-at-arms didn't last long. And again, it's kind of funny that I thought they would. But here I was looking at it, on his turn, if he charges me, I've got a better than average chance of getting away, and that's really pulling his guys away from my battle line. So I was okay with that. Over here, my general got killing blow on the Hydra and took it off right off the bat, so that really, you know, wasn't a big deal. The bad news is I think there was only 1 spell that got off, and it healed 1 wound on my general, and other than that, nothing went off. So yeah, I'd feel more comfortable if I had grown some more wounds back. Now, when all was said and done, I'm looking at the possible counter charges on his turn, and all of a sudden, you know, killing that Hydra isn't as good as I thought it was, because now there's just a slew of, well, the Blackguard especially has a pretty easy charge reach on me, and there's nothing I have sitting right there that's really going to stand up to him. So we'll see how that goes on his turn.